This is the new GoPro Hero 11. Let's put it to the test.
Are we using this right?
Of course I made Isaac do the funny head mount.
Not funny anymore.
Oh yeah!
I wouldn't say that this is the biggest update we've ever seen for GoPros, but there's some pretty nice changes. It's the same body as the Hero 10, but we have a new larger sensor and we get this full 8:7 aspect ratio, which is really nice because you can grab both horizontal and vertical footage from the same footage if you needed to, and it's insane for FPV. But for me, bigger than all of that stuff is 10-bit color. And now we can really get a lot more out of the GoPro footage. When you're color grading, it's gonna hold up a lot better and you're just gonna get nicer colors overall. Definitely makes GoPro footage a lot more usable, a lot more gradable. And for me, that is a big deal. For beginners, for a lot of other people, they might not really notice the difference that much. But for me, when I really like to color grade things, I see the difference. One of my favorite new things is the Hyperview, which is this insanely wide aspect ratio. It's almost like they're taking that 8:7, throwing stabilization on and making it super wide, just like kind of like FPV footage. And it's really good for that crazy action footage. You're capturing kind of everything, like it's so wide. It's crazy stabilized, especially with the new Hyper Smooth 5.0. I don't know, you just run with this thing and it looks like you're on a gimbal. There's really no point in putting a GoPro on a gimbal because it is so stable. And if for some crazy reason you need even more stabilization, you can just throw that footage into the GoPro player and use Real Steady straight in there to stabilize even more. That's how we stabilize our FPV footage. We film in that 8:7 or 4:3 really weird aspect ratio. You throw Real Steady on it, it makes it crazy stable and it stays really nice and wide. That combination for FPV footage is unbeatable right now. It's so wide and dynamic, but still really high quality and most importantly, super stable. And GoPro has made it really easy to use inside of the GoPro player. I can't say more good things about Real Steady and GoPro coming together. It's the perfect combo. It's so nice to be able to just batch edit in there and it's really fast. You can watch it real time. Real Steady, if you haven't used it, you will be blown away. 120 frames per second in 4K, that's really nice. I think that was the same on the Hero 10. And in 2.7K, you get 240 frames per second. Those you do not get 10-bit color in, so that's a little bit of a bummer. I'm sure there's some limitations there, but it still looks pretty good. And even though this GoPro Hero 11 Black didn't change in looks much, We have a GoPro Hero 11 Mini coming out later, which I am almost more excited for because it's all of the same quality as the Hero 11 Black, but just in a smaller camera size. Now we don't get the screens, or not the same screens at least, so that will be interesting to see how hard it is to use using the app and all that. But for FPV people like me, the Mini is going to be so good. The Bones is great, but it's a little bit harder to use, especially with the way that I'm using FPV right now. So this Mini is going to work perfect for me. This new Gumby mount is also very interesting for those times where the little like sticky tabs don't work very well. This is a new way to basically, you can clamp it onto kind of anything and just twist these, and so it's going to be super stuck on there. Just nice to have another way of mounting your GoPros. And there's some other little things that have been updated. For example, now we have 27 megapixel photos. For me, I'm not usually taking photos with the GoPro, but if you are, that's gonna be really nice. We have night effects, you can do light painting, that kind of stuff. Again, for me, I don't use it for that kind of stuff. And the 11 comes with a new Enduro battery, which means you're gonna get 38% more recording time, which is a pretty significant amount. But for me, I feel like the battery life has already been really good on the GoPros, that I haven't felt like it's running out super fast. Maybe that's different for you guys depending on your usage. I'm mostly using GoPros for FPV nowadays, and I haven't had any issues. But of course, I'll take more battery life any day. Overall, I feel like the Hero 11 isn't a crazy new upgrade. The Mini will definitely feel like a completely new action camera. But if you're like me and you use a GoPro for FPV footage as much as I do, you're probably gonna wanna upgrade this. I think the 10-bit color is gonna make a really big difference, and just how good the quality is now with this new sensor, the 8x7 10-bit. It looks really nice, and that's gonna cut much better with other footage, you know, other cameras, Sony cameras, other cameras, if you're cutting in that FPV footage. So if you've been holding out and you haven't upgraded to the 10, for example, the 11 is gonna be a huge upgrade for you. But if you already have the 10, then the upgrade isn't gonna be quite as significant unless you're really color grading the footage and using it for FPV and stuff like that. But I don't know, I'm such a like gear nerd that I like having the best quality. If like I'm on, you know, an epic snowboard trip in Whistler, I want to have the best quality recording. So for me, I like upgrading, but for a lot of you, if you're on the 10 already, I think you're probably pretty good. But overall, well done GoPro. I love any updates that you can give me to make my FPV flying experience even better. I'm such an FPV freak at this point that I'll take all of it. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys later. Bye.